You're drained, worn out. But not from the demands of your job or everyday responsibilities. No, the exhaustion comes from something deeper. You're pouring energy into things that will never return the favor. Here's a liberating truth. The instant you release the need to control your path to peace, that's when peace actually arrives. It meets you in your quiet moments. If you've ever stayed awake at night worrying about someone else's judgment, if you've replayed a single conversation over and over in your mind, or felt crushed under the weight of opinions that never truly mattered, then this message is for you. Let me pose a question. What if the real source of your unhappiness is that you're investing care in all the wrong places? Today, we're exploring a truth so deeply uncomfortable that most people spend their entire existence running from it. There's a subtle form of chaos you've come to accept as normal. Overthinking, overgiving, over-explaining. But here's what I want you to consider. On the other side of release, there exists a freedom you've never experienced before. Stay with me here, because if there's only one thing you take from this, let it be this. Your inner peace starts exactly where your hunger for approval stops. And there's something powerful waiting for you at the very end. 1. Why everything gets a reaction from you. Picture your mind as a reflective surface. When that surface is clear, it shows reality exactly as it exists. But each time you allow a remark, a glance, or someone's opinion to smudge that surface, you stop perceiving things as they actually are. You start seeing them through the lens of how they wounded you. Buddhist philosophy reminds us of something profound. You won't suffer punishment for your anger. You'll suffer punishment through your anger. That anger, that emotional turbulence, it's not the world inflicting pain on you. It's your clinging to how you believed the world should behave. And the more fiercely you grip that illusion, the deeper your suffering becomes. So pause and ask yourself this. Why does every trivial matter demand such a strong response from you? Why does a throwaway comment from someone you barely respect echo louder in your head than your own inner voice? The reality is, you don't react because the world is inherently cruel. You react because something within you is absolutely convinced the world should be gentler, more quiet, more fair. But that expectation, that illusion, it's a prison. Every single time someone questions your beliefs, criticizes your decisions, or fails to understand your intentions, your mind wages war. Not with them, though. The battle happens within you, because what you're truly defending is your ego's desperate need to be correct, to be embraced, to feel secure. But here's the transformation. What if you could simply pause? What if you could stand in that space between what triggers you and how you respond, and just observe? That single second, that one breath, that moment when you choose not to react, that's where peace is actually born. Mindfulness isn't about being passive, it's raw power. It's the conscious choice to say, I see the flames, but I refuse to burn. In Buddhist practice, this pause holds sacred value. The mirror doesn't battle the fingerprint, it simply waits until clarity naturally returns. You have to ask yourself, what belief system am I protecting right now? The need to be liked, the fear of appearing disrespected, the notion that you must constantly justify yourself. When you start tracing the origin of your reactions, you'll uncover something startling. The storm isn't happening around you, it's brewing inside you. So here's what to try. The next time something triggers you, resist the urge to respond immediately. Just sit with whatever feeling arises. Allow the emotion to surface. Let it move through you. But don't grab onto it. Don't become it. Because the less you care about being understood by every single person, the more deeply you'll understand yourself. Detach. Not because you've stopped feeling, but because you want to feel better. Stop bleeding out for people who wouldn't even hand you a bandage. Free your nervous system from bearing the burden of every careless remark. Remember something crucial here. Not everything deserves your precious energy. Not every moment requires your active presence. The less you react, the more you reflect. And the less you care about proving things to the world, the freer you become to build peace within yourself. At the end of the day, it's not about who said what. It's about whether your internal mirror stayed clean. You don't need to control the world around you. You just need to master that space between trigger and reaction. That's where your true freedom exists. 2. The hidden traps controlling your life. You think you're living freely, but look more closely. Your mind might still be a puppet pulled by invisible strings you don't even recognize. Strings made of fear, approval, control. And they manipulate you, subtly, constantly, until you can't even remember what genuine peace feels like. Buddhism doesn't teach escape from the world. It teaches escape from our illusions about the world. The Buddha once shared this wisdom. It's not the chains binding your feet that imprison you. It's the ones wrapped around your mind. These mental traps don't announce themselves loudly. They whisper. They disguise themselves as duty, as perfection, as ambition. But underneath, they're powered by the terror of not being enough. You wake up and immediately check your phone. Not because you genuinely care, but because you fear missing something important. You agree to commitments you don't want because you dread letting someone down. You post, you perform, you pretend. Not from joy, but to feel validated. How many of your daily choices are just automatic reactions to these invisible strings? Here's the uncomfortable reality. Most suffering doesn't originate from what actually happens. It comes from the meaning you attach to what happens. You weren't hurt because someone ignored you. You were hurt because you expected their attention. You weren't overwhelmed because of your workload. You were overwhelmed because you felt pressure to prove your worth through it. That's the trap, and it keeps you cycling through the same patterns until exhaustion becomes your new normal. But what if you could name these traps? What if you could point at a thought and say, this is my approval trap, or this is my overthinking loop? Just naming them strips away their power, because once you see the string, you can choose to cut it. Minimalism isn't only about owning fewer possessions. It's about caring less about things that don't genuinely matter. Emotional minimalism means saying, I don't have to engage with this thought, that anxiety about someone's opinion, that compulsion to respond just to be understood, that endless spiral of what-ifs. These are just puppeteer strings, and the moment you stop dancing to them, you start truly living. Ask yourself right now, what's one mental trap silently draining my peace today? Why am I still gripping it? Is it fear of rejection, need for control, desire for certainty? When you stop attempting to control everything, clarity begins to flow in. You start responding rather than reacting, observing rather than absorbing. Remember this: you were not born to please other people. You were not born to achieve perfection. You were born to wake up, to untangle yourself from the invisible expectations that steal your joy. You don't have to change the entire world to be free. You just have to release the strings. And here's the paradox. When you care less about controlling everything, you gain genuine control over yourself. That's when happiness stops being conditional. That's when peace is no longer a reward you chase, but a resting place you inhabit. Cut the strings. Let your mind become still. You are not a puppet. You are the master who simply forgot. 3. What happens when you stop caring? You hold on with such intensity, gripping approval, expectations, outcomes, as if your happiness depends on controlling every single aspect of life. But have you noticed something? Clenched fists can't receive anything. Not peace, not love, not freedom. Buddhist wisdom tells us, letting go gives us freedom, and freedom is the only condition for happiness. It's a truth that feels contradictory. How could not caring lead to greater peace? But maybe peace isn't something you earn through effort. Maybe it's something you uncover when you stop forcing everything into place. Think about this carefully. Every time you try to fix someone, rescue every situation, or control how others perceive you, you drain yourself completely. Not because you're too weak, but because you're attempting to carry what was never yours to carry. You weren't designed to hold the entire world on your shoulders. Some things are meant to pass through your life, not get stuck inside your nervous system. You want inner peace? Stop obsessing over what you can't control. Release the idea that everyone must like you, that your plans must unfold perfectly, that people must understand your heart. Peace isn't discovered in fixing others. It's found in releasing the need to. Imagine this. Your mind is like a hand clenched into a tight fist. Now, slowly, open it. That sensation? That's what letting go actually feels like. It's not giving up. It's making room for clarity, for breath, for space. When you stop caring about the noise, you begin to hear your soul speaking again. And what it whispers is simple. You were never meant to live in constant tension. Practice this in your everyday life. Start small. Don't check your phone the instant you wake up. Don't respond to that message that only invites unnecessary drama. Don't explain yourself to someone who's committed to misunderstanding you. Just let go. Give your peace the highest priority. The world won't collapse. But your chaos, that will begin to crumble. Ask yourself right now, what's one thing you're gripping far too tightly? Is it an outcome, a person, a story about who you think you should be? And what would happen if, just for today, you released it? What if your worth wasn't tied to constant effort? What if your value didn't depend on hustle, approval, or performance? Buddhism teaches that suffering isn't caused by what we lose, it's caused by our attachment to keeping it. So, the more you cling, the more you suffer. But the moment you loosen your grip, even just slightly, you begin to float. You begin to trust life. And that trust, that's what brings you back to yourself. The less you care about what drains you, the more energy you have for what lifts you. You weren't made to react to every trigger, attend to every voice, or fix every broken thing. Sometimes, healing isn't about fixing at all, it's about freeing. The moment you let go, peace walks right in. Stop gripping, start living. Happiness isn't something you chase down, it's something you allow. 4. The mindset shift that changes everything. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. But most of us live as though we are the storm itself, spinning, crashing, overwhelmed. When in truth, we are the sky, always still, always present. Buddhism teaches us this powerful shift. Don't believe everything you think. Thoughts are just visitors. But what happens when you forget that? You become a prisoner in your own mind. You react, you overthink, you spiral into fear, shame, and anxiety, believing every thought is absolute fact. And, just like that, peace slips through your fingers. But imagine this instead. A dark cloud forms. It looks heavy, threatening, and yet the sky doesn't resist it. It simply allows the cloud to come and then to go. That's the mindset that transforms everything. You don't stop the storm. You stop identifying with it. You stop saying, "I am anxious," and instead you realize anxiety is visiting. You stop thinking, "I am not enough," and instead you observe, that's a thought. It's not the truth. This shift forms the foundation of mindfulness. Meditation isn't about fighting your thoughts. It's about seeing them clearly and letting them pass without allowing them to build a permanent home inside you. Every time your mind spins stories, "They don't respect me. I'll never succeed. What if I fail?" You have one job. Don't pick them up. Just notice. Name them. Release them. Say to yourself, this is just the mind doing its thing. Overthinking loses its grip when you stop feeding it your attention. Most of what you fear never actually happens. Most of what you rehearse in your head is just noise. So why are you still carrying every thought like it's a burden you must solve? What if your thoughts had zero power unless you chose to believe them? Would you still carry them? Here's the truth. Thoughts will come, emotions will rise, but they don't define you. You are the observer, the silent witness. The more you return to that role, the less chaos you absorb. That's where peace begins, not when life becomes silent, but when you become silent. Next time you feel overwhelmed, pause, breathe, watch your thoughts like clouds drifting across the sky. You don't have to chase them, you don't have to judge them, just let them pass. With practice, you'll realize something profound. The sky never fights the storm, it simply allows it to pass through. You want clarity? Create space. You want peace? Stop trying to fix every thought, just let it float. That's the power of detachment. Not caring less in a cold way, but caring wisely, caring only about what truly matters. And slowly, this shift becomes your strength. You stop drowning in the waves because you remember you were never the ocean. You were always the sky. You don't have to silence the storm. You only have to remember. You are not the storm. You are the sky that watches it pass. 5. Do less, but better. You are not tired because you've done too much. You are tired because too much of what you're doing doesn't actually matter. Your energy is being scattered across endless to-do lists, conversations that drain you, tasks that don't feed your soul. Buddhism doesn't glorify the grind. It reveres presence. Better than 1,000 hollow words, the Buddha said, is one word that brings peace. The same principle applies to our lives. A single focused action done with intention is more powerful than 1,000 scattered efforts. Think of your mind like a bow. Every thought, every task, every responsibility pulls the string tighter, but if you're firing arrows in every direction, none will hit the target. Clarity comes not from doing more, it comes from doing less, better. When you stop multitasking your life, you begin to actually live it. Because distraction isn't just the enemy of productivity, it's the thief of meaning. You can't pour your full presence into a moment while worrying about 5 others, and if your attention is divided, your peace will be too. So here's your call to clarity. What are your essential 3? What are the 3 things that actually matter today? Emotionally, spiritually, practically. Not 10, not 20, just 3. Drop the rest. Because not everything deserves your energy. Not every task deserves your attention. Some things are just noise, pretending to be important. And every time you say yes to them, you say no to your peace. You may think success is about how much you can do, but true mastery is doing less with more awareness. It's not about conquering the day. It's about showing up fully to what matters in it. Imagine waking up tomorrow with this one shift. Only focus on what feeds your peace, your growth, or your soul. Everything else? Let it go. That email that can wait? Let it. That meeting you don't need to attend? Skip it. That person whose drama drains your spirit? Step away. The power of doing less isn't laziness, it's discipline. The discipline to choose what deserves your life force. And when you do that, something miraculous happens. The fog begins to clear, your mind slows down, your purpose sharpens. You stop moving in circles and begin walking a path. Ask yourself now, what task today can I eliminate or simplify to reclaim my energy? What if success wasn't about being busy, but about being aligned? What if the real progress wasn't in finishing more, but in feeling whole while doing less? You weren't made to chase everything. You were made to live with clarity. Like a single arrow aimed with presence, precise, powerful, and peaceful. Do less, but better. Because a focused life isn't a smaller life. It's a deeper one. 6. Let go of the inner drama. There's a storm raging in your mind, and most days you think the only way out is to fight it. You analyze, replay, rehearse, try to fix everything and everyone. But what if the real solution isn't in doing more? What if it's in stepping back? Peace comes from within, the Buddha taught. Do not seek it without. Yet here we are, wrestling the wave instead of watching it crash. The drama we experience isn't always from life itself. It's from the story we wrap around it. Most of our pain doesn't come from what is. It comes from what we think about what is. Imagine this scenario. Someone sends a short reply. You instantly think, they must be mad at me. Your heart races. Your mood shifts. But was there actually a problem? Or did you just create a movie in your mind and cast yourself as the villain, the victim, or the fixer? Our thoughts are skilled storytellers, and without awareness, we buy into every plot twist they sell us. But there's another way, one that Buddhism offers with radical clarity. Become the silent witness. Let the thoughts come and go like waves on the shore, but don't chase them, don't fight them, just watch. You don't have to respond to every thought. You don't have to solve every feeling. Practice this instead. Stillness in the middle of inner chaos. Try asking, is this real, or is this just a story I'm feeding? That question alone creates space between you and the drama, and in that space, peace begins. You stop fueling the fire with attention. You stop adding heat to the storm. And when you stop feeding your thoughts, they lose their power. The next time something upsets you, don't react, don't spiral, just pause. Watch what your mind tries to do. You'll notice it rushes to blame, to predict, to panic. Let it, and just watch. You are not the storm. You are the space in which the storm happens. The more you practice this inner distance, the more you realize the drama was never about the world. It was about your attachment to how the world should be. Peace isn't a reward for fixing life. It's the result of no longer needing life to be perfect. It's what happens when you stop grabbing every thought and start observing, when you stop turning discomfort into identity, when you stop rehearsing imaginary arguments in your head that never happen in real life. What if you made it your practice today to let go of one mental movie? Just one, the one playing loudest, the one creating the most noise. Let it run, but don't participate. Don't narrate it, just let it fade. Because sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is not react. The storm inside you will pass, but only if you stop standing in the rain. 7. Stay open, even in pain. Pain knocks, and the instinct is to close, to fold in on yourself, to brace and protect. But here's the paradox. Healing doesn't happen when you close. It happens when you stay open. The heart, like a flower, doesn't bloom by avoiding the rain. It blossoms through it. In Buddhism, the truth is simple but hard to live. You only lose what you cling to. And clinging often looks like shutting down, holding back, or pretending you're unaffected. But pain is not the enemy. Resistance is. Think about the last time you were hurt, emotionally, spiritually. Did you contract? Did you shut the world out to survive it? That's natural, but it's also where most suffering begins. In the closing, what if the true strength isn't found in putting on armor? What if it's in staying emotionally naked, even when it stings? This doesn't mean becoming passive or letting people walk all over you. It means softening where life has hardened you, remaining open in the exact place where you were taught to flinch. When you feel that tightening in your chest, pause. Don't run. Don't numb it. Just notice. Where am I closing right now? Is it fear, anger, avoidance? What am I protecting? Then breathe. Breathe into that space. Let it unfold. It's not weakness to feel. It's wisdom. It's not foolish to trust again. It's freeing. Staying open is not about allowing pain in. It's about not letting it trap you. We think shutting down keeps us safe, but it doesn't. It only cages us in stories, in assumptions, in repetitive patterns. True safety is found in presence, and presence requires openness. When you keep your heart open, You're not inviting more pain. You're allowing space for it to pass through without getting stuck. You stop internalizing every wound. You stop turning discomfort into identity. You start flowing instead of freezing. This practice is subtle but life-changing. When you feel offended, soften. When someone doesn't meet your expectations, stay open. When life disappoints, breathe. That's where your power is. Not in controlling what happens, but in choosing not to shut down because of it. That's real emotional resilience. Let yourself feel what you feel without becoming it, without collapsing under it. Because every time you stay open, even a little, you train your nervous system to handle life without fear. You tell your inner world, I am safe enough to stay soft. That's not weakness, that's invincibility, not against the world, but against your own resistance. So ask yourself now, where am I closed? What part of me am I guarding too tightly? And what would happen if, just for a moment, I let it open? The heart that stays open cannot be broken. It only expands. 8. Cut the rope of expectations. You wake up expecting kindness, a message, a gesture, a recognition. But it doesn't come. And just like that, the mood shifts. Not because life is cruel, but because you were holding a silent rope, an expectation. Expectations are like invisible threads we wrap around people, events, and even ourselves. We think they connect us, but more often they strangle our peace. Buddhism teaches attachment is the origin, the root of suffering. And expectations? They're nothing more than refined attachments to how the world should behave to keep you happy. You see, the pain isn't in the thing itself, it's in the story. The one where your friend should have remembered, the one where your partner should have reacted differently, the one where life was supposed to reward you by now. But life isn't scripted, it flows. And the more we try to control the script, the more we suffer every scene that doesn't go our way. Think about it. Who are you silently expecting something from right now? A word, a change, an apology. What emotion is living in you because they haven't given it? We tie our peace to outcomes. But peace doesn't live there. It's not found in someone meeting your expectations. It's in your ability to release them. Imagine this. You're standing on a cliff with a rope in your hand. On the other end is a heavy stone labeled how life should be. That rope is cutting into your hand, bleeding your energy. And you think, if I just hold on tighter, maybe it'll feel lighter. But the freedom you seek isn't in gripping harder, it's in letting go. What if you dropped the rope, just for today? What if you allowed people to be who they are, not who you wish they'd be? What if you stopped expecting your job to validate you, your partner to complete you, or your past to rewrite itself? Releasing expectation doesn't mean giving up. It means giving in to what is, instead of clinging to what should be. That's not passive. That's power. That's liberation. Start small. When you notice yourself tense, irritated, disappointed, pause. Ask, what rope am I holding right now? Can I cut it? Breathe. Let it go. Not because they deserve it, but because you do. Every moment you free yourself from the illusion of control, you take one step closer to serenity. Here's the truth most people never admit. Peace doesn't come when everything's perfect. It comes when you stop needing it to be. Say it with me. This moment is enough. I am enough. They are enough, as they are. The rope you cut today may be the one that's been choking your peace for years. 9. Practice non-attachment, not indifference. You can love deeply and still let go. You can care without clinging. Non-attachment is often misunderstood as apathy. But it's not about being cold, it's about being clear. It's the difference between holding someone's hand and squeezing so tight that neither of you can breathe. Imagine holding water in your palm. If you cup it gently, it stays. But if you grasp it, it slips through your fingers. That's the art of non-attachment. Buddhism teaches. To understand everything is to forgive everything, and in that forgiveness, We release our grip, not because we don't value it, but because we finally understand it was never ours to hold. Think about this. What if the pain in your chest isn't from love, but from attachment disguised as love? We confuse presence with possession, care with control. But true connection isn't about permanence, it's about presence. Can you be here now with someone or something you care about and not demand that it stays forever? This is where non-attachment begins, not in retreating from life, but in embracing it without needing it to last. There's a quiet power in being able to say, I appreciate this moment, even if it doesn't repeat. That's emotional freedom. But many of us fear that letting go means losing everything. We think, if I don't hold on, it'll disappear. But clinging doesn't preserve, it suffocates. Non-attachment says, I can be here fully, and if it ends, I can still be whole. That's not weakness, that's strength, the kind that doesn't collapse when life changes. Try this. Look at your relationships, your goals, your identity. What are you attached to that's weighing down your soul? A title, a person, a version of yourself that no longer exists? Can you love it, honor it, and still let it float freely away when the time comes? That's spiritual maturity. It's not detachment from life, it's connection without chains. Non-attachment is not indifference. It's deep care minus emotional enslavement. It means showing up with love, but not losing yourself in the process. It means listening without trying to fix, loving without needing to own, being with someone without fearing their absence. It means recognizing that everything is temporary, and instead of that terrifying you, it liberates you. Every moment you release the need for permanence, you allow yourself to actually experience life. Unfiltered, uncontrolled, real. When you stop holding on so tightly, your heart has space to breathe, and in that space, happiness grows. Not because you have everything, but because you've stopped needing to. So, ask yourself today, what are you clinging to in fear rather than holding in love? What if letting go was the most loving thing you could do? Non-attachment isn't letting go of love. It's letting go of the fear that you'll lose it. 10. Stop performing for the world. You've been handed a script, a role to play, and every day you perform it, hoping for applause. But what if, just for a moment, you stopped pretending? What if you didn't need to act anymore to meet others' expectations? The truth is, social roles are illusions, and the more we perform for the world, the more we lose sight of who we truly are. You are not the actor, you are the one who writes the script, and today you have the power to rewrite it. Imagine walking through your day without the weight of trying to be who others want you to be. No more shoulds. I should be more successful. I should be a better friend. I should be perfect. The constant pressure to meet external expectations leaves you exhausted and fragmented. The world's applause is fleeting. But when you live for your own truth, you create something far more lasting, a life that is whole, free, and genuinely yours. Think about your daily interactions. How many of them are driven by a desire to impress? Who are you trying to win approval from today? Maybe it's a family member, a boss, or even strangers on social media. What if you could let go of the need to perform for them? What if, instead of shaping yourself to meet their image of who you should be, you allowed yourself to simply be? What would happen if you stopped wearing the mask and let the world see your true self? Buddhism teaches us that the less we perform for external validation, the more aligned we become with our true nature. When you stop pretending to be someone you're not, you no longer have to hide behind the facade of perfection. You can show up fully, exactly as you are, without fear of judgment. This is where freedom begins. When you stop performing for the world, you make room for the most important performance of all, the one where you're simply being yourself. This is not about abandoning responsibility or letting go of personal growth. It's about letting go of the need to measure your worth by someone else's standards. The less you care about what others think, the more you reclaim your energy and your peace. You begin to live with intention rather than reaction, choosing what serves your soul, not what serves the world's expectations. Ask yourself, who are you trying to impress today? What if you didn't need to? What if, instead of focusing on how you're perceived, you focused on how you perceive yourself? The answer will set you free. When you live for truth, not applause, you will no longer be a puppet to external expectations. Instead, you will be the author of your own life, choosing each moment, each action, each word with purpose and authenticity. The less you perform for the world, the more you will become the person you were always meant to be. 11. Reclaim your attention. In a world filled with distractions, where your attention is constantly pulled in 1,000 directions, reclaiming your focus is one of the most powerful things you can do. Think of your attention as light. Whatever you shine it on, it grows. If you focus on negativity, worry, or other people's expectations, that's what you cultivate in your life. But if you turn your attention inward, towards peace and self-awareness, that's what will expand. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. So, what are you feeding your mind today? Is it peace, or is it poison? The world has become louder, more demanding, harder to tune out. Notifications ping, opinions clash, and it feels like the noise never stops. But amidst the chaos, there's a quiet place inside you, a place where clarity and calm reside. The trick is learning how to return to that space, moment by moment, without letting external distractions pull you away. Focus is your greatest power, and when you master it, you unlock the ability to shape your own reality. You can choose what you give your attention to, and that choice determines the life you live. One of the first steps to reclaiming your attention is a mental detox. Unfollow, unsubscribe, unhook from the things that drain your energy. It's not just about clearing out your social media feed. It's about clearing your mind of everything that doesn't serve your peace. The constant barrage of information, opinions, and expectations can overwhelm you, making it hard to hear your own thoughts. By removing what doesn't align with your values, you give yourself the space to hear your inner voice clearly. When you stop filling your mind with external noise, you make room for the thoughts and ideas that truly matter to you. But reclaiming your attention isn't a one-time fix. It's a practice. Just like a muscle that gets stronger with repetition, your awareness can grow stronger the more you train it. Every moment is a chance to return to now, to redirect your focus from distractions back to your present experience. It's not about striving for perfection. It's about noticing when your mind has wandered and gently guiding it back. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes. And over time, you'll find that your thoughts no longer control you. You control them. Ask yourself, what are you feeding your mind today? Is it something that nurtures your peace, your growth, your happiness? Or is it something that drains you, that feeds fear, anger, or anxiety? In a world that's constantly trying to pull you in 100 different directions, the ability to direct your attention towards what truly matters is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. When you reclaim your attention, you reclaim your power. You become the master of your own mind. And in doing so, you unlock the freedom to live your life with purpose, peace, and presence. The less you let the world control your focus, the more you get to decide what your life becomes. Bonus lesson: turn resistance into acceptance. Life is full of waves, constantly shifting, unpredictable, and sometimes overwhelming. We often find ourselves trying to fight against the current, struggling to control things that are beyond our grasp. But what if I told you that this resistance only drags you deeper into frustration and stress? What if, instead of fighting the current, you simply let it carry you? In Buddhism, this is called acceptance. When you stop resisting the flow of life, you stop drowning in your own struggles. Instead, you float, and the river gently carries you home. Whatever has the nature to arise has the nature to cease. The challenges you're facing today, they will pass, but only if you stop fighting them. We live in a world that constantly tells us to control, to fix, and to overcome. But what if life isn't a problem to be solved? What if it's a wave to be surfed? Every time you push against life's natural flow, you create friction, and that friction breeds suffering. When you accept things as they are, not as you think they should be, you tap into a deeper peace. This doesn't mean giving up or becoming passive. It means starting from a place of inner calm,